Over the next few weeks, we're getting to know each of the regional winners of this year's Environmental Stewardship Award program. Today, we head to Louisiana and spend a day in the life with a Region 2 winner of this prestigious award.
On a steamy summer morning, cattle graze through the longleaf pines in the savannas of southwest Louisiana. This is Daigle Farms, home to Dave and Mary Ann Daigle and their daughter, Clara.
Daigle Farms has been in existence since 1983, but you know, my family were all cattle people from Acadian people from down east that actually settled on the tall grass prairie.
I like it because you're able to see the trees and the woods and the cows grazing. I see the impact of what he's been doing and how it has improved our pastures.
We try to manage from a business viewpoint with a concept known as integrated resource management, which means we identify everything that's out here that has a value, and we make a conscious effort to develop those values.
When it comes to this environment, Dave Daigle knows his stuff. By education, he's an environmental scientist, and he worked for the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality. His early career was in the oil fields, but he always had a farm like this in mind.
There's nothing more beautiful than a good slick-haired, shiny Brayford, cow out there on the range that's robust and the calf is strong. It's just a real joy to see it.
With more than 1,100 acres, Daigle Farms has a mix of income sources, including their Brahman and Brayford cow herd, high-quality timber, and Dave is in demand as a consultant to those interested in restoring these now rare longleaf pine savannas.
Some of the tracts that we have were actually clear-cut lands that had been in tree farm situations before, and we reintroduced longleaf pines into that system in a natural spacing and setting.
Since starting his farm in 1983, Dave has made steady progress in improving his land with the use of prescribed burning and cattle grazing.
David has done an outstanding job of utilizing all the tools that were historically accurate in these longleaf pine savanna systems. He uses fire at the proper time. He uses grazing management, because herbivory and fire are both tools used to keep this area open. So just his vast knowledge of this ecosystem and how to properly use the tools and manage it makes him stand out among cattlemen here.
I think if somebody was at all curious about blending ecosystem management in with cattle grazing, this would be an excellent field trip to make to one of Mr. Daigle's sites, because they can see what's possible. They can see where fire will get you and where this rotational grazing will get you, and the type of timber management. You can get multiple resources, multiple benefits on the same tract of land.
Dave works closely with a number of partners, including NRCS, on projects such as installing ponds to improve water access and rotational grazing. And since his farm normally gets about 55 inches of rain each year, adding heavy use areas around gates and water troughs has provided real value.
Our heavy use areas work well here because traditionally we do have rains. We're in a drought currently, but during heavy rainfall seasons, cattle tend to make a pretty nasty hole around the troughs, and the heavy use area was designed to get those cattle up off the ground.
Those pads have been tremendous. We built a limestone base according to NRCS's specs, and we just really would have never known without their technical support just how beneficial those things are.
Dave also battles the Chinese tallow tree, an exotic species that crowds out natural habitat. He uses a mix of fire and chemical treatments to control this invasive tree.
Normally we use a basal spray spot treatment throughout the landscape. Remedy works really well in an oil base. We spray the bottom 1 foot of the tree all the way around, and we feel like we get something very near to 100% kill of that seed tree, and its roots.
Daigle Farms is home to a diverse array of rare and endangered plants, and Dave has worked with wildlife agencies to create habitat for the endangered red-cockaded woodpecker.
I'm a sincere believer that, that I can graze cattle here, that I can maintain diversity, and I can manage it right there where a red-cockaded woodpecker lives.
Whether it's sharing ideas with others, managing timberlands, or working with the cow herd, it's clear Dave Daigle and his family have a passion for life and for their land.
To me, that's what God intended for him to do, was to be on the land. He didn't intend for David to have an office job, I guess you'd say. He's happier being on the land with his cows.
You know, it adds a level of a quality of life that no business plan can incorporate. There's not a day that goes by, not a one, that we don't marvel at the wonders of nature here.
Now you can see stories about all of this year's regional winners by visiting cattleman2cattleman.org.